Hello YouTube, my name's Jax and welcome to the channel. So I'm not really actually too sure what I spoke about last in my last video, to be honest, because I've through record on and recorded a couple of little devlogs that I might not have released. I'm not sure actually, but I'll just talk from here on about the game that I'm working on. So I'm working on an FPS game. I'm learning Unreal. It's been very challenging. The last few weeks I have felt like I can just get on with it. I haven't had to turn to a tutorial now for maybe even like a couple of months, maybe even. But I mean, I'll turn to a tutorial just to like save. I was like, what was that little node that they pulled up there? And I might have to try and pull a tutorial up for that. But in general, I can do most things that I want to do. So yeah, so I'm learning Unreal. I've been learning it for about eight or 9 months now. So I'm working on this FPS game. Let me get straight. Where am I? I forgot. Right, I'm working on. I've got no plan at all for this video. Sorry. So I'm working on FPS, and in my last video I was working on a couple of little mechanics and things. I'll just play it in single player mode and show you what I've got so far. I'm just mapping it out. Okay, so I'm making the map is like a kind of, so you're a little, let me just show you the character just in case you haven't been following this up. So the character for the first person shooter, he's got like a little go-kart and he's a little baby alien and he drives around in this go-kart with a gun, and each player will be that. And then the map that you'll be playing on will be like a Colosseum type, Roman Colosseum with a high-techy type feel. But also there's been an asteroid or some kind of spacecraft that's smashed into the Colosseum or whatever it's called, and has caused the scientists to come in and close down the sport. So these little baby aliens are just playing around with the droids, and they've broken them apart and they put go-karts on the bottom, and they're just playing between themselves, and that's what the actual game is. But they're going to be loosely following the rules of what the game was originally, if that makes sense, before the spaceship crashed. So the spaceship crashing and that is not going to have anything to do with the gameplay. It's just going to be an aesthetic on the map. But the story of it is that there was a sport that was played by these characters with legs, but these little baby aliens have sort of dismantled them little robot bodies apart, and they're playing their own little sport using the field that was used for the sport. So I hope that's up to date now. Like, I really have got no idea where I'm going with this video, but I just wanted to show you some of the new things that I've done in the map and some of the things that I've been working on. So I've widened the map a little bit as well, because I thought, because you're moving at quite a fast rate, I wanted to give the player a bit more space to move around with, and also your movement is kind of limited. You can't like strafe left and right. You have to sort of turn, or you can skid. So basically it's going to be like 5 against 5 or something, and one team will start down this side, the other team will start all the way down that side, and this little section here is your safe space, as it were, and this is where you come back to recoup your energy, and you can sort of trigger that off with a line trace trigger, and then it starts to regen up, and then you can put 2 cars in each time in this, and then you regen, and then you go back out to fight. But there's also going to be these loot boxes that drop down, and they come out of these things that I'm going to make, and I made like an animated robot that kind of drops these little loot boxes out. But the loot boxes you have to shoot to get, you don't open, you have to shoot them. And if you notice, the light goes down as you shoot them, so everybody on the map can see how many shots are left in the loot box to open it. But the aim of the game, pardon me, sorry, the aim of the game is that the one team is going to have to come to their button and press the button and it starts the countdown, and the other team is going to have to start their countdown. The aim of your team is to stop theirs, so you just drive up to theirs and stop it, and then the number stops. And their aim is to stop yours, but every time they stop yours, you've got to try and start yours again. So it's going to be sort of like a push and pull type game. But once you're injured, you might slow down when you're injured. You've got to come all the way back down here and regen and stuff. I might make it so that only 4 players, or I might limit the amount of players that can go out into the field, so it's almost like a tag team type thing. So like there can only maybe 3 at once on a field, and you've got to tag out and the other one comes in, but there'll be a time limit. So like, you know, there can't be a player that hogs all the game. There'll be like some kind of alarm that goes off, and there's penalties if you don't swap out and stuff. But I want to make everything really tactical. So like every decision you make has to sort of be done by a team. You will be able to shine solo, but it's best to work as a team. So yeah, so I made these sort of Colosseum type walls. You can sort of rail glide them walls as well. But yeah, that's about it. This is where the crash site will be. This is the company that's locking it all down, SK. They're also the ones that have got these containers around and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I just kind of wanted to show you sort of what I've been up to. Yeah, so really, I don't want to map the... Like, I do need to do a bit more code. The strangest thing is happening. The strangest thing is happening. Let me see how long. 7 minutes. Right, so this code here, to start the code, is going backwards. Right. So you press it, starts the countdown. Press it again, stops the countdown, right? But the code is going backwards. See, this not boolean is pressed not, right? So I don't really want to go across the code too much. I know that I'm probably not doing this right anyway, but that's not too much of an issue because I've done timer codes and stopped timer codes and stuff before. I know that it's not a super complicated thing to do, but I was trying out a different way of doing it. But what's happening is it's doing it wrong. Like, so on the flip, you press it. First time you press it, it should be true. That boolean as default is false. So I've tried making the default true and stuff like that, but as default is false. So it's false to start with, right? So it's, when you press it, it's true, right? When you press it again, it's false. But the code is saying to start the timer when it's not true. Maybe that. It's because I've tried it all sorts of ways. It's not what, like, this is what I'm trying to explain. This might not be, there might be something I'm overlooking, but what I'm saying is I've tried that is pressed and having a not boolean and the falses and the trues, and I've changed all sorts of things, stripped it right back down. But in this blueprint, I don't know if it's just this blueprint and it's just some kind of bug, or I'm not sure, but it's doing the opposite thing. When it's true, it's doing what it should be when it's false, and vice versa. And it's the first time that I've come across this kind of problem in Unreal. So I don't know if I'm just overlooking something, or it's just a buggy blueprint, or I don't know. But like I say, I could be doing something wrong in this code right now, as it is now. But I've tried it all sorts of ways, and I've done timer starts and stops before, so it's very very confusing, very confusing. But oh, what else? I think that's about it. I did work out how to. So in the last one, the cube glow. So when you shoot that cube and the lights go down, that wasn't replicating. So all I did, I just had the little bing bong moment in bed at night, and I just thought, oh, why don't I just do that? So what I did is I had, for them lights going down, I had it all on the event any damage, which I kind of knew I shouldn't have done really anyway. But what I did is I made the code for the lights going down as a custom event that's multicast, and then just called that on the event any damage, and that seems to work, and it replicates across the listen server, and it replicates across the client. So that's working as intended. I don't know if I'll have any future problems with that, but that seems to fix the problem. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't know what I just said, to be honest. I just kind of wanted to show you where I'm building it up. I have got a map that's not got all these assets in it at the moment, so I do really need to build all this up. I did build this little bit here, but it's kind of just repeated assets, like these little boards and stuff like that. But and then I built the walls, built all these type of Coliseum type looking stuff, built the, like, so it's like gladiator type thing. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope that was interesting to somebody or enjoyed it, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.